How about Mac Jones? That's the other person that I think a lot of people expect the Niners to take. What do you see as his biggest positives?
Well, he's a winner, and he's at Alabama. A lot of the same things you're talking about with Justin Fields. He's been well coached. He was with Steve Sarkisian, and Sark coached him up, and so he has a great understanding of the game. He understands a pro-style offense. He knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on time and on target. He can hit the deep ball. He can hit the intermediate ball. He can throw an accurate slant route. He ran a million slants at Alabama that those guys would take, and nobody could catch him, and they'd run into the end zone.
Yeah.
Once again, I think he's a good decision maker. He doesn't panic and throw the ball to the other team. I think he's got, he's not going to be ever defined as a running quarterback, and then people say he lacks mobility, but I think he's got some pocket mobility, and that he understands when to slide up, when to slide out, how to create throwing lanes in the pocket, and he plays with a high degree of confidence. And I think he's got a little chip on his shoulder. We've heard the stories about him challenging Nick Saban. Not many people challenge Nick Saban. And he challenged it when he was a scout team quarterback. He challenged that Alabama defense on a daily basis. I also like the fact that he didn't transfer, that he hung in there, and he continued to work and believe, and he stuck to the program. And now he's going to be a first-round draft choice. I think that says something about him. I know I've heard people compare him, his mindset a little bit to Joe Montana. Hey, look at that's pretty heady comparison. I think if there's a negative, it would just be the lack of ability to maybe create on the run. And I know Kyle likes the bootleg stuff and the misdirection stuff. And, is he going to be able to perform that at the level that Kyle wants him to be able to do it? I can tell you this, if they take him, then Kyle has determined that he can do those things. He's going to be, there'll be no doubt that Kyle has conviction that this is his guy. I can tell you this, whoever the Niners take, and I think we're all assuming it's Mac Jones, but if it's not, then Kyle's a great quarterback coach, and he knows exactly how he's going to use this guy, whatever guy it is, and he knows exactly what they can and can't do, and he's determined that within his scheme, this guy is going to excel. Otherwise, they wouldn't make the pick.
Do you feel that Mac Jones' athletic limitations give him a fairly defined ceiling, or do you feel like you compared him to Joe Montana? Do you feel that he could have that kind of a maybe not Joe Montana or Drew Brees, that kind of a ceiling?
Yeah, I mean, I guess as a player in mobility, I'd probably compare him more to Drew than to Joe, because Joe had mobility. I mean, Joe could move around, and he took some hits because of it, but he could move around. And I think we forget about that because he was followed by Steve Young.
Right.
We forget that Joe was mobile, but probably, and Mac's bigger than Drew, but that pocket, the pocket mobility that Drew Brees shows. I mean,
Yes.
everyone always too short, he's too this, he's too that. And yet he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The ability to slip and slide in the pocket, or just get out of the pocket and have the kind of the grace and the composure to keep his eyes up the field and make a throw downfield just out of the pocket that was with accuracy. Those are things that made him special. And I think Mac can do those things. I think there's going to be people that go, well, he had weapons all around him. How could he fail? Well, he could fail if he couldn't throw an accurate throw to those weapons. Right. He got it to the guys. Yeah. He knew where to throw it. He knew when to throw it, who to throw it to, and he did it consistently. So as I watched him this past season, and I was skeptical at the start of the year. Not skeptical, but I was interested to see how he developed. But as the year went on, I went, man, this guy, he's not just a guy that's out there taking up space and throwing it to these tremendous receivers. He's a really refined quarterback.
Is he the kind of quarterback that a coach would appreciate more than a scout? It seems like scouts are very into measurables.
Yeah. But at quarterback, I think scouts, beyond just looking at measurables, are looking at production as well. Okay. So he's productive. But I think scouts, coaches appreciate him because of his mental grasp of the game.
Got it.
Is being a student of the game, understanding the game, the composure he plays with. How he doesn't get rattled, and then you go back and you think about, talk about the things with Justin Fields. Same thing with Mac Jones. He played at Alabama for Nick Saban. So every single day, maximum pressure was applied to him. He was put in an extremely competitive environment every single day. He had to perform. He was never given a pass. He played against great teams week in and week out. He played on the biggest stages. He won national championships. I mean, you know, those things are valuable as you project a guy to the next level.